Yeah, they're playing right now. Oh, shit. Welcome in to the Blues Central post-game show presented by Drink Thunder. Fuel your fire with Drink Thunder, the all-natural pre-workout that hits different. Plant-based, fruit-powered, zero sugar, sweet naturally with monk fruit. Each serving is packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to ignite your energy and push your performance to the next level. Choose your flavor: orange mango, blackberry lemonade, or strawberry cream. Feel the rush the natural way. Order now at drinkthunder.com. Drink Thunder, pure power, no crash. All natural. I'm just going to warn you now, I am going to show absolutely no emotion in this post-game tonight because I am tired of this. It's very tired, and I'm disappointed. I'm mad. I'm all of the above except happy, and I'm just tired of it. Simple as that. They lose in overtime, 3-2 to the Philadelphia Flyers. We got to keep this one quick. Coming up after us will be Mizzou post-game. They're taking on South Dakota right now, and they're beating them, so at least someone in this state can win. Beating 90-58 right now if you're not keeping any tabs on that. Go Tigers, down with the Yotes. Also, go Bison, just for that, so I like it just a little bit more. Well, let's start it off here.
I think that's the best spin, to be honest, is D Brown's here in the chat, but I don't really think it's a spin. I think it's valid. Like if you're clamoring for this team to win games at this point and not blow 2-goal leads, then either one, you haven't been watching enough of this season, or two, you're just a victim of circumstance and a sucker for punishment because it's tough to get your hopes up watching this team right now, knowing, Justin Falk comes out guns blazing in the first period, puts you up 2-0. And I tweeted it immediately after the first period because we're all waiting for the collapse, right? Like that's all that we've talked about this entire season is this team not being able to hold 2-0 leads. So anytime I see them go up 2-0, that's all that I'm thinking about. And it really, throughout the course of this fan base, it should be all that everybody's thinking about, right? And then, going to overtime, we know how that has typically gone throughout the course of this season. And even if you're trying to hang on for a shootout, it's like, okay, oh yeah, you've got Trevor Zegras on the other side, who's like 60% in shootouts in his career, which is just bananas. That's like Oshie numbers and Kane numbers and Tays numbers. So I think if you thought that when the Flyers scored their first goal or when the Flyers scored their second goal, that the Blues were going to find a way to pull out the victory despite, blowing a 2-goal lead again, I think you're just kind of fooling yourself. But up until that point, even when they had the 2-goal lead, it felt like a different, the process is changing because it felt like they played well. I don't think anyone can pin this loss on Hofer. He played amazing. My God, some absolutely 5-star saves that I don't think we really haven't seen from either goalie throughout the course of this season. Yeah, like Ace says in the chat, I thought Hofer played amazing. Defense in front of him is a little bit shaky. Either get out of his way or block the shot, but don't screen him because it makes life difficult on any goalie. I thought Booch played a lot better than the games that we've seen, and I thought Shen and Dvorsky were kind of helping him to achieve that and creating opportunities and chances. Obviously, he didn't put one in the back of the net, but it's part of the process, right? I think for Buchnevich, we've seen him struggle so much because he's not even really getting those good looks. I think the other night in overtime, he was wide open in the slot, the pass came to him, and he whiffed entirely. So he's not whiffing now. He's making contact with the puck. It's the next step, it's all progression. Eventually he's going to put it in the back of the goal and hopefully that just fixes everything. But if he's maximizing his chances, he's maximizing his chances at getting a goal. So steps in the right direction for this team. But overall, at the end of the day, like, I'm sure they're going to say this in the post-game press conferences, like, you got to find ways to win, especially getting close to a quarter of the way through the season in 20 games. Like, and we know that the trade market and Doug Armstrong's name is all over that baby. Like, I don't think there are many names, if any, that are safe on the Blues roster. It's just about finding a dance partner and, facilitating a trade. Obviously, Texier was waived today, and then Jake Neighbors came back, and I think Jake Neighbors inserting into this lineup brings back part of that identity, part of that core. I mean, we saw him banging bodies today. I'm like, God, I miss this, right? Like, and the forecheck, he's just an absolute menace in all facets of the game. Like, he elevates your team massively, and I loved seeing him on the first line with Thomas and Snuggerud. I would put him back there immediately. Like, and with the chemistry that we saw with Buchnevich and Dvorsky, in which I thought Dvorsky played great and had a clutch face-off win down the stretch. So, I think you're slowly but surely starting to figure things out. The results aren't changing yet, which is, ultimately the core issue here is you still can't find a way to win games. But, I know we always try to look at the positives and fix the process before you can fix the results. Because if you just focus on the results all the time, you're going to drive yourself insane. But my God, it just carbon copy every game. 2-goal lead, you're feeling good, blow it, and then you're like, what happened?
I just don't know what to say. And yeah, I know we talk about, how everyone talks about how much we try and we talk about the positives because that's what we want to do, because the only way to get through all the negative is just to shove it aside, bottle it down, stuff it down deep, and then just cover it with as many positives as much as possible. And first of all, Falk looked surprisingly good. Got 2 goals tonight. I mean, I can't.
He's got some of the top goals. Like, he's one of the goal leaders among defensemen. Like, Matthew Schaefer, I think, is leading. And then right below him is like Justin Falk and a bunch of other guys, which is crazy to think about considering all the discourse that we had about him last season, which I am happy when they were talking about his 1,000th game and Jake Neighbors was talking about him. He's like, yeah, he really doesn't care what other people think. He just kind of goes out and does his thing. I'm like, good, because there were a lot of people that had strong opinions about him. And, obviously there was a lot of like trade speculation about him, and there still is now. But I think the trade speculation about Justin Falk now, it's like a sell high scenario, because he's like, by all accounts, this is one of your best defensemen this season. Like, I know it's crazy to say, and I know that people are probably going to try to flame me in chat for believing that, but like, he's been a stud. He's been the player that really you expected Cam Fowler to be, like, manning the power play, right? Like, distributing assists, even like putting pucks in the back of the net. And then, I wouldn't say locking it down defensively, because no one on the Blues has, but like, on a ratio basis, like, he's been one of the better guys at playing defense on your back end. So, I think this is in a scenario where you're trading Justin Falk. It's not like you're trading him for peanuts. Like, this is a sell high scenario. So I think, Justin Falk's an important piece to this team's success right now, which is wild.
That's so weird to say, considering the past 2 years. But what hasn't been available for the past 2 years coming up soon, and that is what is going to be considered the state holiday, December 1st. So don't forget, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code STL Sports. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we are live. That's code STL Sports. Remember, STL Sports, the crown is yours, in partnership.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
So, chat, I think, just as Cam Ward said earlier on in the season for the Titans, keep it a buck, we ass. And simply put right now is that the problem is, for some reason, there's an impossibility to get a 3-goal lead right now. And the reason they keep blowing 2-goal leads is because they can't score a third goal for some reason. And that's what happened all night long. It was rough. And simply put, it went from the first period where they were getting a whole bunch of opportunities and creating for themselves to just kind of mid. So, I mean, they're not creating as much as possible. I mean, yeah, we can hope. That's the St. Louis voodoo magic that seems to always happen. Simply put, making a big run after the Olympic break. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because it's just how it is.
I will say, piggybacking off the DraftKings ad, I did tweet out, like, as soon as the Blues go up by 2 goals, I think live betting the opponent, like, if you're in St. Louis and you've been watching this team consistently throughout the course of the season, like, realistically, you should be making a bag off of that, like, immediately once December rolls around.
Racks on racks.
Yeah, like, I think if we're watching every game, like, the Blues are kind of telling us, like, who they are right now, and obviously it's very frustrating to chat for sure, but also to us, like, we want to watch a team that wins, right? And when you're in a winning position for 2 periods, you're expected at the NHL level to close it out, and the Blues haven't been able to do so. That being said, if you're going to end up watching these overtime losses and frustrated anyways, you might as well put a little bit of change in your pocket and throw some bets down with DraftKings. So I know I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'll be probably tweeting out my bets left and right. I'm not gonna get them all right, but I feel like I've watched enough Blues hockey to get a good sense of what's going to happen. And then here's the other thing, guys. If I bet against, like, let's say I bet on the Blues to lose all the time and just fade the Blues, like, if we believe that Vegas just actively works against us, and they're like, oh, Tommy Welch is putting a wager on so-and-so to score, like, he can't score tonight, because I feel like a lot of people believe that, right? Like,
of course.
Just like, oh, they're like, there he is. We've got his cookies. We've got his name, like 0-0 draw. And then there's just like 1 goal that squeaks in. So you can manifest results. Like, if I fade the Blues forever, all of a sudden they're going on a win streak, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not winning my bets, but like my team's winning. Or vice versa. Like, the Blues like keep losing and I bet on them. You know what I'm talking about. You you play the odds so that either way you come away victorious. Emotional hedge, exactly. SAL Hockey 91 absolutely gets it.
Hell
so
yeah.
in those scenarios, it's a win-win for you as the consumer, because you're either making money or your team's winning.
So I really like this comment here by D Brown's 1480. I don't think the Blues should sell just to sell. If a good offer comes in for the old core, move them. I wouldn't trade anyone from the current core unless it's an overpay. I agree with that. I think where they're at right now, it's kind of a back and forth thing where you have pieces, but it kind of always seems like just one piece is missing. But I don't think Armstrong should just be looking to ship guys out just to do it and replace it with someone they don't need, or someone that's just going to be a 1-year replacement, or just a 1-year addition, whatever it may be. I think if you're going to sell, you need to, like, I mean, sell for good reason, or look for offers that'll give you, either a good obviously 1-year replacement, or B, just looking for someone that will actually have long-term effects. But simply put, don't just get rid of guys just to switch things up. I think that's kind of been the conversation here, is what do you do? Do you, like, if you start trading guys, which is what it looks like has to be done, what is the situation going to have to be? How much is everyone worth in the grand scheme of things? And are we thinking that Armstrong should just get guys the hell out of here? Or do we say, we like this group, but we still need a little better. Let's get a good replacement. Yeah, that's pretty much right.
Give me the people that score goals.
Yeah, basically pretty much, I think it's like, we need guys that just have it's so difficult right now.
If you can just give me all the players that are good at hockey, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah, just give me like the best players in the NHL right now, and I'd be fantastic.
No, but I think the conversation there starts, right? Like, what do you consider the old core versus the new core? And then also, like, I don't think, because we've gotten to this point, right, to where we had a strong stretch for the St. Louis Blues, like the last quarter of last season, And really, the rest of that season was kind of a nightmare. Not really a nightmare, but like, you didn't really expect that team to compete, so they weren't competing. And then all of a sudden, they just turned it on in the playoffs, and you're like, oh, this team's a lot better than we thought they were. Now, the team was a lot better than you thought they were, and your expectations raised, and they're showing you, hey, we're actually way worse than you thought. And like, you remember when we struggled last year? Like, that's who this team actually is, and we were just playing like way above our pay grade, I guess, towards the end of last season. So like, I think if any made move right now for Doug Armstrong isn't like, I don't think it's a move that's like just being made to make a move, if that makes sense. I think any move made right now will be made to like basically wake up the room and be like, hey, like, nobody's safe if you're not playing well. Like, if your ROI isn't good for the team, or whatever it is, like, if we have a good return for you and can get you somewhere that like we feel like helps us long term, like, we're gonna do that. And I think that's a wake up call to, if we're talking about cores, like guys like Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, that like Pavel Buchnevich, that almost in the past have felt safe because their contract is, locked up long term, or they're making the money. I know that people were talking about Pavel Buchnevich and like whether or not he's got the fire in him because he got his contract and all those things. Like, I mean, you can tell by the way, like, this guy, missed the net tonight, and just looks up at the rafters for like 5 minutes. It's like, I don't really think anybody with that competitive spirit is just going out there and was like, yeah, I feel good about, 6 or like 7 points on the season or whatever he's at right now, making $8 million. Like, there's no way that he feels great about that. So for me, it's just, how do you send a message to this team? How do you give them a wake-up call? And it feels like Doug Armstrong is running out of options, and, trading players is potentially next on that list. But yeah, if it didn't work out with this core under Craig Berube, and it's not working out now under Jim Montgomery, I think those are two big strikes against this core just working out in general. So how do you fix that? How do you change that? I think shaking it up is the way to do so.
Well, don't forget, Blue Central Post Game here is brought to you by our business banking partners at Home Bank. From business lending to everyday banking, Home Bank has been with us since day one as a trusted partner. Business isn't just about numbers, it's about relationships. And with Home Bank, those relationships make all the difference. Home Bank is the team behind our team at STL Sports Central. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001. That's 855-577-2001. Home Bank, member FDIC, more than a bank. They're your business partner. So thankful that I am not to a point in my career, let alone age, also where I am sponsored by specific people. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I like being able to just be able to read whatever. I love doing that as much as possible. But Mizzou game just got wrapped up, so we will slowly begin our wrap up here. And before I'm just gonna bite this one right now. I saw a comment earlier. Gavin will look great in this new sweater, i.e. Gavin McKenna. This is a weak draft class, and Gavin McKenna is, I guess, the front runner in this weak draft class. I don't think he is as good as the people say he is. I think he is nowhere near Bedard, nowhere near Celebrini, what they've done for their teams, even though they're both still kind of suck. But even then, it's like Bedard and Celebrini are doing great right now. Gavin McKenna is nowhere near that, okay? He's just not, simply put. And in a normal, I still think, don't get me wrong, he's still a really good player. He's probably still a first rounder. But in a normal year, a normal draft class, he's probably going 12th or higher. I'm just saying. Just putting that out there. Don't be surprised if he actually doesn't go first. Simply put, he has done
Look at Ace Rob agreeing with you. Yeah. That's fine.
Thank you. I have talked to so many people. He's done nothing at Penn State. Penn State is not performing as well. They are hitting. Penn State might be winning, but they're winning 1-goal games against awful teams in college hockey right now. So just putting it out there. If you're saying this guy can change an NHL team, he should be able to change a college hockey team.
It's true. It's putting a lot of weight on a youngster's shoulders too. And I think that's why a lot of people, including Doug Armstrong, feel that rebuilds don't really work. It's like you tank all of that, right? And your team's kind of abysmal. And then like even to just be able to tank, your team has to just be inherently bad. And then you get a guy like Connor Bedard. He comes in his first season and he's like, hey, I don't have any help. Like, can you guys get me somebody to pass the puck to that's not going to fumble it or just get buried into the boards? And then they're like, oh yeah, let's build the team around Bedard. And it's like, hey, what? Maybe you should have built the team first and then got Bedard as the cherry on top. I don't know, but it's like, it's like the chicken and the egg conversation. But I think, for the Blues here, it's flush this one and go try to win the next game against the Islanders, who have been on an absolute torrential rampage with Matthew Schaefer kind of leading the way on the defensive side of the puck as like an 18-year-old. So we talk about young guys making their impact in the league. That's probably your Calder favorite right there, unless Jimmy Snuggerud just goes on a rampage, which is possible. And I put $100 on him to win the Calder, so I'm still manifesting. But my God, Matthew Schaefer looks unbelievable early on in the season, and it's gonna be a tall task for the Blues to handle them and all 165 pounds that he weighs on Saturday at 2:30.
Well, we are making our way out so that way we can make way for our Mizzou postgame coming up in just a little bit here. But before we go, we got
a dub, right? They're still winning?
Yes, they did. It's game over.
There we go. Wins in St. Louis. Let's go. That's all we do.
Someone's winning. That's all that matters. Mizzou's still undefeated so far this season. But before we go, can't forget the money moment of the game, which is brought to you by Home Bank, team behind our team here at STL Sports Central. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001. I don't think I have a money moment of the game outside of, I guess, the fault goals.
Right? The second one. I mean, that first fault goal was a bomb too. And then the second one is the cherry on top. I mean, I think your money moment of the game could just be Justin Falk's presence, right? The second he stepped on the ice, you're like, oh, this guy's got that aura, right? Mm-hmm. The mustache. He loves fishing, so he's just going out there, throwing out some lines and catching some 60-pounders, apparently. Beautiful.
South St. Paul kid South St. Paul grown man making the difference tonight. And I think, after second thought, Hofer's big save.
Oh, that was a great one. Which one? I feel like he had multiple.
That huge one in the third.
Yeah, that glove. Oh,
almost was the difference maker. Almost. Really good save. And I think just for Hofer himself, I think that'd be a really big moment for him moving forward. I think this was another really good confidence game for him because he let up 2 goals that are, not easy, or 3 goals, I should say, not easy to save. Simply put, this was not a 3 week goals. So almost cost it, but he didn't. So doesn't matter. You forget about it.
It was a bad bounce off the stanchion too, to be fair.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That almost gave me a heart attack, and then we ended up losing anyway, so it didn't even matter. But I think that pretty much wraps everything up. Besides Aaron Dodson in the chat saying the Blues have ruined my night again. Yeah. Again, brother, going back to this, like, I care about you. I appreciate you being in the chat every game. Like, I'm expecting to see you on Saturday, right? Like, let's take a little mentality here. Like, take a little mental break. Namaste, right? Let's go into next game against the New York Islanders, who are, like I said, have been on
after they lose, you can be mad again.
Have an absolute stud at the blue line. Let's just hope that the Blues come out and play tough. Not expect to win, not expect a result, maybe not even expect them to go to overtime. But I just hope that they play a full 60 minutes hard. And that will make me happy. I'm hoping that will make you happy as well. Fingers crossed.
I hope it makes everyone happy. We can say we got a point, whatever, yada, yada, yada.
He says, I expect to win.
Yeah.
That's a gig, though. That's kind of cool. If you're in a band, I would love to hear what band it is, because that's pretty badass. Anyways.
Pretty neat. All right. Thank you guys again. So make sure if you're still here, Thanks for sticking around. Make sure to follow us on everything. We pretty much got an account on anything you can get. So make sure to check it out there. Check out the website, stlsportscentral.com. Check out all the written content. Obviously, we just got the new membership program, so subscribe to that. We got some amazing stuff coming out with that. I don't know how much I'll be involved, if at all, but I know there's still a lot of fun stuff with, a lot of some of the Blues alumni, Blues guys, and obviously Carricker, Bernie, all that fun stuff. So make sure you subscribe to that. A lot of really, really fun stuff.
I know they want that program to be like it's basically like a membership, but it's like a universe, right? Like it's not really meant to just be like, oh, pay $10 and support like your local people. Like we're trying to build a community and build a family of people that enjoy like St. Louis sports, obviously, and love talking about it like as much as humanly possible. So whatever you guys really want that to look like let us know in feedback of like how we can make it better, how we can make it more valuable instead of just being like, yep, $10 here it is. Like it's going to change its form and its shape over time. And we want you guys to be a part of helping to do that. So pretty cool stuff.
Make sure to stick around. Mizzou post game coming up next after their big win. Obviously, thank you so much. Thomas getting his $20 for saying that. And no, I'm kidding. We don't get paid to say that stuff. We just get paid to stick around and watch Blues games and watch them lose a lot. So hopefully they'll turn it around on Saturday. We will be back on Saturday, both of us as well. So back hopefully around 5 o'clock, right after the Blues game against the Islanders. So once again, thank you guys for sticking around. This has been Blue Central Post Game here on STL Sports Central. And as always, go Blues.